What's going on, agents? ASCII Adam here. If you enjoyed today's content, please leave a like on this video and subscribe to the channel for future Division 2 updates. Also remember to hit the bell icon to get notified when I upload a new video. Before I get started, I'd like to say thank you to my fellow service members and veterans. We love you. Thank you for your service. Also, suicide is never an option. If you're feeling suicidal, please get help. Call a family member, call a friend, call the National Suicide Hotline, message me. Do whatever you need to do to get yourself well. Without further ado, on to today's content. What I want to talk about today is my experience in the raid matchmaking and the discovery mode raid. I'm going to start off by giving you my history on raiding, which is not very much, but my guild has attempted the raid 4 or 5 times, and we have never beat Boomer. This is because we let anybody come into the raid no matter what gear or build or experience they have, and that's the way we want it. I mean, we're not looking to speed run the raid. We're not looking to just rush through and get to the end and just to get the gear at the end of the raid. It's not about that. We are looking to we're just a group of people that enjoy playing together, talking together, and laughing together. So that's it. Now, that being said, I did want to complete the raid. I mean, that's one of my goals at some point, is to complete the raid. So I did try out Discord once. I joined a group, and we ended up beating Boomer. We tried it for probably 5, 6, 7 times, I don't know. And then we finally got past him. But we fell apart at the second boss. We had some people disconnect. We had some people had to leave because we'd been in there for a while. And so I really haven't tried it after that. So the only boss that I've beaten is Boomer. And that's the extent of my raid experience on the live server. So I don't have a comparison for most of the bosses. So on the PTS, what they've done is they've added what's called discovery mode for the raid, and it is an easier mode. And they also added matchmaking just to the discovery mode. You still can't do matchmaking for the normal raid mode. But what discovery mode is it's just a toned down version of the raid. As far as I can tell, the mechanics are the same. The NPCs just don't hit as hard. There may not be as many. On Boomer, it did seem like there were as many, but they were hitting about, I would guess, between 50% and 60% less damage than on the live raid. Now, I accidentally deleted that footage, so you're not watching it now because I don't have that footage anymore. But I'm sure you all have watched the raid on, to see how to beat the bosses or whatnot. But so on the PTS, I have joined 3 raid groups. Now, it has not been working for almost a week now, I would say. So I got in on the first day and I tried it with 3 different groups. 2 of the groups were already on the last boss, and we did not complete it because most people weren't on comms, so we couldn't get the mechanics down. We tried quite a few times, could not get it down. Now, the 3rd group I ended up in, it was a group that was just starting the raid. And so I thought to myself, cool, this is great. This is exactly what I was looking for. Start fresh, start from the beginning. I want to see each boss, see how they react, see if we can beat them. So first of all, there were 3 of us actually on comms, and that's decent, I would say, for matchmaking. I don't know if that's going to be unusual. We'll have to wait and see on live if we're going to get, more people than that. If it's normal that we're only going to get maybe, half the people on comms or less, who knows. But the mechanics of Boomer, for as far as Boomer goes, they were the exact same. The mechanics are the same. The only problem with that is you don't really need to bother with them. He dies fast enough. I guess maybe in this group we had a good enough group that we only did about 3, maybe 4 DPS cycles on him. If you know how Boomer works, you have to shoot him in the backpack with the turrets, and then he takes a knee for 5 seconds, you shoot him, and that's the only time he's vulnerable. He chases somebody around, and there's NPCs the whole time, and then there's a computer mechanic where you have to hit the numbers, or hit the right computer to stop it from reactivating all that good stuff. But we did not need to do any of that. In fact, we only stayed on one side. So take that as you will. At the end of this video, I'm going to bring up the pluses and minuses I see with the discovery mode and the matchmaking. And one of the minuses is going to be that if you don't know how to do it, you really don't need to know how to do it. If you have one or two people in the discovery mode raid that know how to do it, and you just kind of follow them around and then shoot what they're shooting, you're going to get through it, and you may not actually know, it may not teach you how to do the raid. So that will be one of the negatives that I hit on here. So the second boss, just like on live, I believe, is the easiest boss. Now, I have not beat him, but I did get to fight him until people started disconnecting and we wiped. But it did seem like the easiest boss. And now on the PTS, it was by far the easiest boss. We took him out, and we did not follow, again, any mechanics. There were 6 people on one side and 2 people, me and another guy on the other side, because right before we went in, I tried to type in, hey, split up, because I wasn't sure how it was going to go. I didn't know if we needed to do the mechanics. So fortunately, we had 2 people on one side and 6 on the other, and they killed their boss really quickly, and we were down like, less than 75%, I guess, and they had already killed their side. So we ended up the plane lifted, and we ended up killing the main boss and our side boss at the same time. And some of the gas that comes out did not act the way that it does on the live. So again, you're not getting the full experience. I feel like maybe they should have had the gas work the way that it does. But that's neither here nor there. That's the way it is right now. And it wasn't bad. I mean, we just went through it. And I guess on live, it's not all that hard either. So I guess that's fine. So we did wipe a few times on Buddy and Lucy. And that's because people weren't understanding the timing of the Lucy, spin mechanic, where it's a wipe, or you get downed if you get hit. So we probably did that 4, 5, 6 times, who knows? But there were people that went down every time she spun around. And I'm not saying that critically, because I think there was once or twice that I did too. I tried to pop up and take some pot shots at her while she was spinning, and yeah, I didn't time it right either. So people had no idea. They did not understand the mechanic. They healed a couple times, even though the bar is way bigger on the PTS than it is on live. They still ended up doing the overheal quite a few times. But we did end up beating them. Now, when we got to the final boss, we ran into a bug, I think. Now, I've never beat the final boss, so I believe it was a bug where we would actually get to the point where we would throw the grenade in the front and the back, and as soon as we did that, the whole thing would reset. Nothing would come out. We could never get to a DPS phase, and we tried it probably 8 or 9 times and never got to the DPS phase. Every single time we would end up, as soon as we put the grenades in, it would explode and nothing would happen. It would just reset, and it would be like we'd have to get in the circles again. So overall, the more I think about it, I really actually like it. And here's one of the reasons why. I haven't brought this up yet, but on the PTS, you can actually get the green gear sets. You cannot get the Eagle Bear. It will not drop in the discovery mode. But on the PTS, you can get the pieces for the set gear and the actual set gear dropping. To me, that's what needs to happen. I really like that, and I hope it goes live. And the reason is because I'm not a hardcore raider, and I think a lot of people aren't hardcore raiders. Not that you have to be to do the actual raid, but I want to jump in after work and say, you know what, I still need to get a few pieces for that gear, and I haven't done the discovery raid this week. I can jump in for an hour and go kill Boomer and maybe the second and maybe the third boss. Who knows? After everybody learns the mechanics in the discovery mode, maybe you can run the whole thing in an hour. I'm sure you can. Normal raiders will be able to do it in like 5 minutes. But you get what I'm saying. There's something to grind for that we don't have currently. Yes, there should be. I think the Eagle Bear is fine to be locked behind the raid, the normal raid. It's fine with me. If I never get it, I'll live, There's enough in this game now, especially with the PTS and the skill build, doing what the changes that they're doing to the skill build. I am 100% okay with the Eagle Bear being locked behind the raid. But to have those extra sets, and they're not a guaranteed drop, and there's also, you can get pieces, and I know you can break those down for good stats and things like that. So that really gives normal, everyday Division 2 players that are more casual something to grind for, something to go in there, experience the raid, and maybe even get something decent out of it. Also, with, say, the Aces and Eights set, you can build that set, and that will make you better at the normal raid, because that is a set for sure. I don't know about the other two, but that set for sure can be used in the normal raid. So now people who are undergeared or don't necessarily understand gearing 100%, you know, maybe they can get into discovery mode and they can go through that and they can build their Aces and Eights set and actually get into the normal raid and help out. So really, like I was mentioning before, the one big drawback to the discovery mode is the fact that if you have a few people that know how to do the raid and you don't have comms on, so you're not listening to them, and you go in and you just shoot kind of what they're shooting at, you're not going to learn the mechanics. You're not going to know how to do the raid when you actually move up to the normal raid mode. That in itself is a huge drawback as far as the discovery mode goes. Now, does that outweigh the benefits of it? I don't think so at all, because there will be a lot of people that never do the normal raid. They don't want to, they don't care about it. They would much rather just do the discovery, and I may end up being one of those people. I'm not sure. I want to get in and have fun, and if I can't find a group pretty quickly to do the normal raid, I don't want to sit around for an hour waiting to get into it. I want to jump in after work before I have dinner, do 30 minutes of a raid, go eat dinner, come back, matchmake again, jump in again, do some more of the raid, get a couple pieces of gear or a couple items to create the gear, and be done for the day sometimes. You know, if I don't have a lot of time, I want to be able to get in and do a little bit of something pretty quick and actually possibly get some reward for it. That is definitely a huge plus to this, I think. Another negative to the discovery mode is going to be definitely the matchmaking itself. You're going to find, like I said, when I did 3 matchmaking sessions, in 2 of the 3 they were already on the final boss, and we ended up not beating the final boss because people weren't on comms, people weren't on, you know, they didn't even have it turned on so they couldn't hear us. We would type, they wouldn't type back, who knows. I don't know why that is, but it is what it is. So you're going to find, you know, you're going to jump into a group, half the people are going to not be on comms, half the people won't be even looking at the chat, and so you're probably going to end up finding some bum groups here and there. Maybe half the time, maybe 75% of the time, who knows. But you're probably going to have to group jump a bit to find a group that is actually competent enough to complete it. So that is another drawback, is, you know, you are matchmaking, you're in there with randos, so you just never know what you're going to get. But overall, I am very pleased with the experiences that I had in it. I actually have now experienced a couple of bosses and learned the mechanics that I didn't know before. I had never actually watched a video on the final boss because I had never made it there. So with my clan, you know, we hadn't beaten Boomer yet, so I was like focused on Boomer. Let's beat Boomer. Once we beat Boomer, I'll go watch a quick video how to beat the second boss and go from there. You know, I didn't feel the need to actually learn the mechanics. I had watched a few videos on people beating it, but I didn't fully understand exactly the mechanics of how to do it. So, you know, even in the groups that weren't completing the parts that we were on, I was still learning. So I'm overall very pleased with it. So anyway, this video's running pretty long, so I'm gonna let you guys go. But do remember to hit the like button and subscribe for future Division 2 content. Leave a comment below. Let me know what you guys think about the raid matchmaking, and if you think it's going to be good, if you think it's going to be terrible, what you think about the gear pieces dropping in the raid, and what you think about the Eagle Bearer not dropping in discovery mode. All right, take it easy. Thanks a lot. Bye.